Doing work that only sustains the matrix, that promotes the beauty and the further protection of the matrix, is not equivalent to doing your spiritually divine purposed work. Peace and love, beautiful beings. I am Danae. Welcome back to the God of Enlightenment. Listen. So there's this guy that I know, right? He's 66 years old. And every flow I ask him, I say, hey, I'm like, what did you do? What did you do throughout your flow? He's just like, nothing, I'm retired, right? And so for him, he worked 40, 50 years of his life in the matrix, in their system, right? So to him, he feels like he's done his job. He feels like he's done what he's supposed to do. And there are a lot of elders, like physical elder aged people, who feel like they've done their part. But the only thing many of them have done is continue to contribute to the matrix, to the sustainability, to the empowerment and the empowering of the matrix. And the reality is, if you work 40, 50, 60, 70 years in a system where nothing about what you were doing there was increasing or promoting or uplifting youth and mind, body, heart, soul, and spirit, once you learn those necessary lessons, once you've broken free from the veil, once you saw what you needed to see, learn what you needed to learn, and you remained in those spaces, you then became a part of the problem. But let me be very clear. Having a job at one of their establishments or their institutions, especially 50, 60, 70 years ago, wasn't necessarily the problem. The issue was remaining in those spaces once the things that you were brought there to dismantle, the things that you were brought there to learn, once those lessons were learned and the dismantling occurred, once you remained, you were continuing to promote and sustain the empowerment of the matrix. So there are a lot of elders and even younger people who believe that because they've worked 20 or 30 years, that they've done the work. Let me be very clear here. Doing your spiritually purposed divine work is not equivalent to doing their work. Anything that contributes to sustaining or uplifting, empowering the matrix is not work. It's not true spiritual divine work. None of that counts. It's simply just a waste of your damn time, if we're being honest. And that's what that's exactly what the matrix system has been designed and created to do. It's been created and designed specifically to make you waste so much of your time that by the time you get 15 years into being at somebody's job, a lot of the times people don't want to leave because now they're 35, 40 years old. They're like, I don't want to leave. Where am I going to go and what am I going to do? And the reality is, you're still just young enough to still get shit done. You're still just powerful enough to make shit happen. You're still just beautiful and amazing enough to still start a brand new life over and live far better than you could have ever imagined. The matrix is not the beauty that people have portrayed it to be. The matrix is not the power system. We, the true divine beings, are the ones who give power to that system. We are the ones that we are the ones that make it what it is. Anytime we have ever chosen to stand on business and their money begins to crumble, think about any of the marches or the walks that people have, like the bus boycott, for example, right? When Black and brown people made a stance and said, they're not going to ride the buses anymore. And it was like a year and a half. It took over a year before they finally came. But they realized that Black and brown people were a key source of the funds that were coming into their busing system. And when people made a stand and said, we're not going to be treated like this and we're not going to be told where we can sit or why we got to sit there, it wasn't until we decided to make a stand that things changed. But right now, we are in one of the most major shifts that we'll ever be in. And the reality is, we have to deprogram ourselves from the matrix mindset. There is a matrix mindset that if we just work and take care of our children and make sure our husbands and wives are okay, and we can have a house to live in and with a nice yard or a car to get from where we need to get to and from, we feel like we're doing our part. But how many souls have you set free? How many spirits have you helped to elevate? How many people have you helped to guide and protect and love? Like truly, unconditionally love these people. How many people fully see you, and through seeing your authentic self, it automatically sets them free? How many people have encountered you and were able to say, damn, just by her presence, just by his presence, I am healed. I know that I am healed. I know that I am whole. I know that I'm enough. I know that I'm good. Right? So many people, and I'll share a bit of a piece of this before I get off of here, because I wasn't intending on keeping it this long. So much of my life, especially my adult life, has been filled with so much suffering because of people's refusal to break free from this matrix mindset. And when I talk to people about it, people act like I'm speaking a foreign fucking language. But their soul and their spirit feels everything that I'm saying. But instead of them choosing to do the right thing, they choose to remain in their comfort zone, their false comfort, because true comfort is self. When you get past the dark night of the soul and the awakenings and all that, you realize the truest comfort you ever have is within yourself, within who the fuck you are. And I'm looking at you and I'm letting you take this in because I know you hear me. You are a divine fucking God. You are a divine being. You are a divine goddess. And it's time for you to start acting like it. Break yourself free from the matrix mindset and allow yourself to align with your true self. It's not going to be easy. And a lot of times it ain't going to feel fun. But as I was saying with my life, many people chose to be disobedient to what they knew they were supposed to be doing concerning me. And it caused a lot of suffering in my life. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't quit. I didn't fold. And I didn't give up. And I'm going to be rewarded for that. I am going to be rewarded for what I chose to do, despite every disobedient soul that chose not to awaken, not to align, not to elevate, not to ascend, that chose to intentionally be disobedient. Every person that has come up against me will get their rightful justice. Their just due is coming, if it hasn't already, right? But it still doesn't take away from the fact that when you are disobedient, you are causing suffering for someone else. Your refusal to do what you're supposed to do, you choosing to stay at a job for 20 years that you was only supposed to have been at for 6 months. You're supposed to get there, unlock whatever you're supposed to unlock, dismantle what you're supposed to dismantle and get out of there. But you chose to turn a 6-month job or 1-year job into a 20-year career. It's 811 on the clock. Right now we are shifting, and you have to decide which side you're going to be on. If you're going to continue to be a part of this matrix mindset, then you're going to go down with the ship, with the rest of them. You're going to go down on the ship with the rest of them, baby. But that's the message. I pray that this finds the people that it is intended to find, and I pray it hits you exactly where it's needed. The matrix mindset is not your friend. The matrix mindset is the mental equivalent to chaos, dysfunction, and downright evil and ill-willed to the umpteenth degree. But that's the message, beautiful beings. I love you. I love you. I love you. If you have not already heard it today, you are beautiful. You are amazing. And you are worth it. I promise you are. Make the decision today that's going to make yourself proud of who and what you are tomorrow. It's until next time.